Photos and videos from two hard-hit cities in Myanmar showed many collapsed buildings and other destruction, raising fears that many more were killed or injured than the count so far. The 7.7 magnitude quake had an epicenter near the country's second largest city. It struck midday and was followed by a strong 6.4 magnitude aftershock. The full extent of death, injury, and destruction is not immediately clear. Video captured the moment a skyscraper crumbled to the ground in Bangkok after a powerful earthquake rocked Southeast Asia. At least one person was killed and dozens of workers were rescued from under the rubble of the skyscraper that had been under construction, while others were reportedly trapped.
It was shaking and I felt dizzy. After that, debris like cement pieces started falling down and the shaking got stronger, so I shouted for everyone to run. Then I heard the boom, boom, boom sound coming down.
Rescue efforts are underway in Myanmar and Thailand. Hundreds of people could be seen rushing out of the buildings and crowding along streets in central Bangkok after a powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake struck at lunchtime. The epicenter was about 17.2 kilometers from the Myanmar city of Mandalay, which has a population of about 1.5 million. Social media video showed a destroyed bridge, temple, and buildings in the country. Another video captured the moment a high-rise building in its central region collapsed after the quake. It was followed by a powerful aftershock and several more moderate ones.
Large earthquakes, and in fact most earthquakes, are followed by aftershocks. Those aftershocks occur because of the kind of change in stress in the Earth's crust. So some of that stress is accommodated in the form of these additional earthquakes as stress is kind of transferred onto different parts of the fault systems.
According to local news network MRTV, the disaster prompted Myanmar's ruling military to declare a state of emergency in multiple regions. The general inviting any country to provide help and donations.
The main impact areas are Sagaing, Mandalay, Magwe, Shan State, Naypyidaw, and Bago. We're working with very limited information at this time. We will know the scale of the damage as we move forward, but we can imagine, as our colleague already said, that the impact will be quite significant.
The UN says it's mobilizing to help those in need. Meanwhile, Thailand's prime minister sought to assure the public over the safety of the capital's high-rise buildings following the collapse of an under-construction skyscraper. She said standards in Bangkok meant buildings in the city would have withstood an even stronger quake, assuring the public it was safe to return to them, and adding that the only buildings under risk were those that were still under construction. But some are worried about the future of those in Myanmar.
Even before the earthquake began to shake, we had over 20 million people in need of humanitarian aid in this country, 3.5 million people internally displaced. So when that hit, this was already a disaster. Now we have a disaster on top of a disaster.